everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have Wyatt Jones with us from CHFA, which is the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, and they are our presenting sponsor for this year's Drive, Lead, Succeed virtual series. Thank you so much for supporting us this year especially, but as well as have been a very strong strategic partner of ours from the very beginning. So thank you. Wyatt, I just wanted to ask if you could just tell the audience, what is CHFA? What does CHFA do?
Well, first of all, Kim, thank you for having me here. Once again, I agree that CHFA and EDCC have always had a close partnership together. So it's great to have continued involvement. As far as background on CHFA, the way I always explain it is that most states have two separate entities: a housing finance authority and an industrial development authority focusing on economic development. And in Colorado, you have a dual mission organization being CHFA, which focuses both on economic development finance and also affordable housing as its mission. CHFA works throughout Colorado to increase the availability of affordable, decent, and accessible housing for lower income Coloradans, but also strengthen the state's economy by providing financial assistance to businesses. And so the background originally with CHFA was that it was created by the legislature back in 1973. We're quasi-governmental, so we're this political subdivision of the state. And we fulfill our mission by providing, as I said, affordable home ownership through the development and preservation of affordable rental housing, but also by helping small and medium-sized businesses access capital. And then wrapped into all of that, we also provide education and technical assistance regarding affordable housing and economic development finance.
We are so lucky to have you, have CHFA in our state, and how we work so closely with you in our economic development efforts. Housing is a very important part of creating our vital communities, but also, especially right now during the pandemic, supporting our small businesses, small and medium-sized businesses, is so important. Can you tell us a little bit about how CHFA has had to adapt in serving Colorado during COVID-19?
Yes, as far as just generally speaking, the reality is that CHFA has been preparing for a scenario like this for years. It's interesting because probably 2 weeks before everything shut down in Colorado, we had this a development happening near our building, and the water had to be shut off. And so all 200 staff members went and worked from home and worked virtually for about 2 days. And we worked out a lot of kinks. And then about 2 weeks later, we had to shut down again. And so we've been able to remain fully operational and able to remain focused on providing uninterrupted service to customers and our partners during the pandemic. And so really our investment in technology and infrastructure in recent years built these essentials for us to support safe and secure remote interaction with our customers. And so as far as specific efforts tied to COVID-19, generally speaking, as a mission-driven organization, we have the flexibility to work with our borrowers in businesses to assist with them to navigate their current economy, which is great. But that's really what we do. Also, you have the Office of Economic Development International Trade, OEDIT, recently launched a program to help businesses affected by the pandemic, which CHFA administers, and that's the Energize Colorado Gap Fund, and that's a $25 million loan and grant fund that was created through legislation, providing $20 million in CARES Act funding, enhanced with $5 million in grants from private investors. And then also you have that really focuses on businesses, enterprises, nonprofits with fewer than 25 employees that have been impacted by COVID-19. Additionally, CHFA, during the pandemic, we refocused a lot of our corporate giving efforts to support organizations that are providing food assistance, rent mortgage assistance, vocational training, and services for the homeless. So, and to date, we've donated about $500,000 to support those needs.
Wow, thank you. That is amazing. And so can you tell us a little bit more about how CHFA helps Colorado businesses? I mean, outside of COVID-19 and everything, what do you do to help support those small and medium-sized businesses?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we were originally founded back in 1973 just with housing, but in 1982, during a difficult economic environment in Colorado, chaff was then authorized to begin administering programs to strengthen economic development, which then became a permanent expansion of our mission. And since then, chaff has invested over 1.4 billion to help over 6,000 businesses access capital, supporting over 72,000 jobs throughout Colorado. And there's a connection, to our affordable housing too. They work together as far as having housing for employees and staff, so those businesses can grow, and create this strong community. We really offer a variety of ways to help businesses, whether for profit or nonprofit. And the majority of our programs are targeted at real estate acquisition development. So we do direct lending, including rural-focused loan programs, industrial development bonds for manufacturers, tax-exempt bonds for nonprofits, new markets tax credits, which have many different targets, including manufacturing, community facilities, healthcare. We also administer loan programs for brownfields remediation, fresh food financing options, and historic properties. One of the programs that chaff administers that works really well for small businesses is the Cash Collateral Support Program. And that's an OEDIT program through the State Small Business Credit Initiative that we administer for the state. It's really designed to help small and medium-sized businesses access capital that would otherwise be unavailable due to collateral shortfalls. So that is not just real estate focused. You can do lines of credit, equipment finance, real estate. And really the idea is, if you just don't have enough money to put down on a project, because maybe the collateral value isn't there for your line of credit or your equipment, that program actually deposits up to 25% of your loan amount in cash at your bank in order for them to lend more. So to really enhance that. And it's a very streamlined program that's worked really well.
I can see that instance happening in a lot of different situations and scenarios, especially in more of our rural communities. So can you tell us a little bit about how CHFA has been involved with the EDCC historically?
Well, we've had a long-standing partnership with the EDCC. We've had some involvement since the mid-1980s, I would say, and has been a strong supporter of EDCC's mission to serve Colorado's business communities. There's a reality of that. We are organizations that were really founded around the same time and had these parallel courses over time. And our COO of CHFA, Jamie Gomez, was with the Office of Economic Development at the earlier in the 80s, and had this connection and to the state, and so there's always been this good relationship. Really, my involvement with EDCC has been, I'm a two-time board member, so I've been a treasurer at EDCC, but then also currently an ex officio member. I think my first conference was back in 2004, and it's, we just value our partnership with EDCC because not only do we share a mission to strengthen economic development in Colorado, but EDCC also helps CHFA grow our connections to businesses and organizations that we can serve.
Well, thank you, and we really do appreciate that relationship that we have been able to build. And thank you for serving on EDCC's board and helping us drive our mission. So can you tell us how people can get in contact with you, especially our economic development professionals?
I think one of the easiest ways to get more information on CHFA is through our website, which is chafainfo.com, chafainfo.com. But also, I think one of the great things about CHFA is how accessible people are, and you can certainly feel free to contact me directly, but then also contact anybody at CHFA through the front desk, and we would certainly get right back to you with any information on CHFA.
Great, thank you so much. Well, thank you for being with us today. We appreciate your support. And if anybody has anything more to connect with Wyatt, we will make sure to get that information to you. Thank you.
Great, thank you.